Sometimes, the only way to push the boundaries of what one can accomplish is to step out of the comfort zone and into the unknown universe. 64 years ago, on July 29, 1958, the United States did just that, with the foundation of the government space program known as the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. From the birth of NASA, scientists and engineers began a genesis of thinking that was more than just outside the box. It was out of this world. Over 60 years of pushing those limits deeper into space has sparked debates among many, bringing criticism towards the program. I'm here today to offer you some insight into why NASA is so important to the human race, how the space program shapes our lives, affects our future, and what we can do to ensure its success. These are among the first full-color images of NASA's James Webb Telescope. They show us the universe in a way that has never been seen before. So how do these pictures benefit our lives? Many have the wrong idea of NASA's overall mission and successes. Yes, they hope to make new intergalactic and planetary discoveries that help to map out and give understanding to our place in the universe. But that is just a generic surface version that only benefits those privileged enough to make those discoveries. After all, how can Arendelle, a star 28 billion light years away, benefit the people on planet Earth? The answer is simple. During his speech at NASA's Manned Spacecraft Center in Houston, Texas, President Lyndon Johnson said, and I quote, "All that we have accomplished in space, all that we will accomplish in days and years to come, we stand ready to share for the benefit of all mankind." NASA's primary goal is not publicity, but working for the benefit of humanity. And the fundamental aspect of NASA's mission lies within technology. Society doesn't benefit from a star 28 billion light years away, but it does benefit from the tools that make the discovery. One of the primary reasons that space exploration contributes so effectively to creating life-saving technologies is that the harsh conditions of space are unforgiving, and no man can survive them on their own. Dr. Sherman Vinograd, former Chief of Medical Research in the Directorate of Space Medicine, explains that engineering and technology are the mission's primary objectives, because this allows the medical scientists to focus on man's support in space and a safe return to Earth. In other words, through manned missions and research in the life-threatening environment of outer space, medical professionals can better understand human physiology on Earth. This better understanding allows NASA's team of engineers to design new and upgrade existing technologies that help diagnose and treat medical conditions in orbit and on the ground. For example, heart failure affects 5 million people a year in the United States. Every month, 300 new patients are added to the waiting list. But due to a shortage of donors, only half of those patients will receive a new heart. As for the other half, well, there is still good news. Doctors and NASA engineers have come together to create the left ventricular assist device, which helps flow blood from the heart and in some cases saves a patient from ever needing a heart transplant. This life-saving device was designed using the same technology as the fuel pumps that help lift shuttles into space. Also, thanks to NASA's technology transfer program, there is more NASA in your life than you think. NASA technologies are in hospitals, fire departments, police stations, schools, grocery stores, and all four corners of the average American home. Even though space provides us with unparalleled medical benefits, some might argue that space exploration costs are too high, and the money could be used toward issues on the ground. Mark Adler, one of NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory scientists and engineers, stated that the Space Shuttle program was shut down because it was simply too expensive. Others, like author and scholar Gary Westphal, describe space travel as a waste of money. Westphal believes that the benefits of space will take too long to emerge and terrestrial solutions are more realistic. While it is true that NASA's multi-billion-dollar budget is a lot of money to the taxpaying citizen, the benefits of space exploration are unrivaled, outweighing the costs which pale in comparison to other United States spending categories. Based on data from the United States Treasury Department, the United States government spent $6.82 trillion for the 2021 fiscal year. Out of those funds, spending on health, including health research, was a staggering $754.8 billion, taking up 12% of the entire national budget, coming in third spending overall. General science, space, and technology received only $35.6 billion from those funds, coming in at 1% of the entire national budget and sitting next to last in spending for the 2021 fiscal year. Even with its starved funds, NASA has been able to compete, bringing innovation, development, and advancement to the health and medical field, which had a staggering and mind-blowing 2,120% more government funding. NASA has done so much with so little for so long that it induces an assumption that the budget is larger than it actually is. 1% of the national budget is only but a vapor from a boiling pot of water. If NASA can achieve this type of success when receiving the lowest funding from the national government, imagine what could become of our lives if the space program was moved into a higher priority position. According to a Pew Research poll, 65% of Americans agree that NASA is essential, and they must continue to be involved in space exploration. Where would we find ourselves without the technology that assists in detecting and treating cancer? How could firefighters save lives without their equipment? And what would we do if we could no longer provide disaster relief? NASA is the answer to these questions, and without NASA, the American people would struggle to survive. As humans, we ignore the long-term damaging implications of how we live, and human existence depends on the body and mind being healthy enough to continue living. Space exploration and the continuous flow of technology that comes from NASA continues to provide the missing links to our health and wellness on Earth. Those life-saving technologies make a difference, all thanks to a unique class of people with a passion and desire to reach for the stars.